because I'm tired of the rain. The only water I want is the water to drink.
Okay.
TikTok and Facebook peeps, can y'all hear us? Let us know if you can hear us, or if you can't, make sure the audio is good. Along with LinkedIn folks, everybody get on here, make sure that y'all can hear us. We're not having any audio problems. As you guys know, this is our first actual show. We've done a show before, but nothing to this magnitude. So we're live on all platforms today.
It'll be a few seconds for Facebook, for JK Welding Facebook, but just a few seconds. It's logging in and going now.
Yeah. Almost there. Hang tight. Some technical difficulty.
Okay, we should be going now.
Ready? Stand by. Be patient.
All right. Okay, we should be going on all platforms now. Sorry about that. Just some technical difficulties. Okay. Okay.
All right, everybody. I'm John King, your host. We're here with Tara Dotson. We both, of course, work and come to JK Welding each and every day. We have perceived into being very successful in the last 15 years. We're going to do a recap of last month's little live video that we had done, and just recapping some things. We are here to embrace you, to inspire you. We're here to give you tips and tricks of things that you could do that can help make you successful. No matter if you're like a carpenter or a pipe welder, you're a businessman, you're a CEO, it doesn't matter. We're here to give you very precise, premier, information to help gauge you and help engage you and help you be successful in life. Mm-hmm. We're going to start off with 3 rules we have. There's 3 things we don't discuss here on this platform, and that is
politics.
We don't discuss politics at all.
COVID.
No COVID.
What's the last one?
I don't know. What is it? What do you think it is? We don't discuss racism here at all. Okay. If you want to hear about COVID, you can turn on any other channel, and you can probably hear just about anywhere else, but we're not here. So we're going to do a little recap of last month's little video that we did. We'll just real quickly, we're going to go over some things that we had discussed. What were some things that you wanted to hit on from last month's video for everyone?
One of the main things we talked about was branding and social media, and then just having a consistent posting schedule. So that's an overarching couple things, actually. But branding and branding materials, being different in your branding and kind of thinking outside the box and leaving that lasting impact with whoever you're trying to connect with.
Good. Yeah, exactly. We also let it known to be important of how important it is for, having your websites, having them linked up, having them categorized in such a way of doing SEO and PPC, how that works. We went through all that kind of stuff. Social media is important, as it is the new way of adventure in life and in business. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go through a few things. Besides that, some questions I get very often. Just want to clear the air here, okay? Some things that I get asked and get messages, or my DMs come in all the time. A lot of people want to know how tall I am. So if you've never met me, I'm 6'8", okay? 6'8". So I just want to get that out there because I get asked that a lot. Hopefully you guys that don't know that or don't know me, now you do. A lot of people also send in messages to me or DMs and say, hey, your hat's on backwards. Well, it's only on backwards because I'm self-filming, I'm self-recording. So that's why it looks backwards, because when you self-film, everything is switched, Mm-hmm. So believe me, I've been wearing a cowboy hat for over 30 years. So I know how to wear one. Believe me, it's not on backwards. And I don't take offense to your comments. No big deal at all to me. Not a big deal at all. So we're going to go through. Yes. Do I have hair? Yes, I do have hair. Everybody want to see that? Just want to clarify that because I don't wear a hat to cover up a bald head. Fortunately, God had blessed me with some hair. So let's move on. So what are some things that you would like to discuss today to help inspire everybody today, Tara?
Well, we have actually quite a few comments on LinkedIn and Facebook that we posted the thing, like, if John King was calling, what would you say? So one of the comments we actually got from that was a really nice comment about John himself. And do you want me to go ahead and read it?
Sure, yeah,
right.
That'd be great.
So it says, how did you do it, John? How did you go from your first arc to where you are now? I see you as an inspiration. Every time I see a pic of you helping a young kid out and passing that knowledge that everyone starting out so desperately needs, I get chills and remember those who have helped me along my welding journey. You are a blessed man, John, and a role model to many, including myself. You give hope to anyone who has ever asked, how can I turn this passion of mine into a business that helps others, provides opportunities to others, and great means of provision to my family? I don't know you personally, but in case you haven't heard it lately, I'm proud of you, and so are all that look up to you. Thank you for the call, and call me whenever you want to talk, or if you need a brother-in-law or some big inch pipe that can hold their own. God bless, brother.
Well, God bless you too, Louis, for writing that. That was a very nice message I received. I receive a lot of messages daily, and that's one of them that I've really been inspired by, and it's very grateful that you wrote that. That was some kind words. I really appreciate it. We do. He is right. We do help a lot of kids out. We attend the Texas High School Welding Series. We try to hit all the events. We're big supporters of that. We donate a lot of tools and equipment and time, inspiration, words of wisdom to all these kids. Speaking of kids, I think that we had a special story from yesterday. I always tell a lot of people, and I got handed some of my own medicine yesterday. In fact, I always tell people, you never take no for an answer, especially when I'm talking to these kids and they're like, look, I'm really having a hard time getting a job. And I'm like, look, you keep going to that weld shop. You keep going and you keep striving. You don't accept no for an answer and you keep going. Well, I got handed some of that little medicine yesterday. There's a sophomore kid who we're going to name him Clay. That's his name, Clay. Clay has been calling my office for, 3 or 4 weeks now. And he is very, very persistent and wanting to come by and meet me and see if I could help him with some of his welding, to improve his welding. And finally, I was just having a difficult time finding time to help this young man. And finally, I found some time and I agreed to allow him to come up here and meet me and then take a tour of the facility and hopefully help him with some of his welding, and we did. He came up here yesterday. Nice young man, very nice young man, very respectful. He came up here and I met him, gave him a bunch of swag, some hats and T-shirts. We talked for a little while and gave him some words of wisdom and inspired that young man, and also put him out in the shop, and we helped him make better welds. He said he was a MIG welder, but he wanted to get better, so that's what we did. We spent some time with him yesterday, and when he left here, he was a welder that was had improved within just minutes of just a few lessons. So it was great to meet him. Great for him to come by. And speaking of swag, we're going to do something a little crazy. Okay, something no one else has ever done, we felt like. So, hey, if you can get here, it is now 2:10. If you can get to JK Welding by 3 o'clock, we'll give you some free JK Welding swag. Yep, some free swag. We're going to have some T-shirts. I don't know how many hats we got left, maybe some coffee cups, that kind of stuff. And we'll probably also hide a nice $100 bill with inside one of these swag gifts that we're going to give out. So if you get here by 3 o'clock, you can get you some free swag, some free, dress wear, T-shirts, all that kind of stuff, stickers. We're going to give a little bit out to everybody. But if you're here after 3, it's going to stop at that point. But good luck to anyone who can get here before 3 o'clock. And if you get here before the show ends, we'll put you on the show. You can sit right back behind us. We don't care. We don't care. So we're here for fun. This is for fun and inspiration and to help everybody out to be successful in life.
And speaking of leaving a memorable impression and a memorable branding, when he pitched that idea to me, I was like, nobody's done that before. That's kind of crazy. So let's see how it goes. Yeah. But you've got to think outside the box on those kinds of things. So I think it's really important to try new things and see how it goes. Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's just about helping people out. I love helping people out. My wife sent me a little note this morning. It was really nice. Thank you, Rachel. I actually seen the post that she had said and that she had posted. And it says, if you see someone falling behind, walk beside them. If you see someone being ignored, find a way to include them. Always remind people of their worth, and one small act could mean the world to them. And that is so true. Thanks, Rachel, for posting that. I seen that. I thought it was touching, and so I printed it out and thought I'd use it on today's show. So.
And that goes back to just having Clay in office here. Like that was, maybe 45 minutes to an hour of our time. And it was just a small portion of our day, but that made that kid's year. I could tell from the smile on his face as he was leaving, that was his year. So, but just being kind and, just really thinking about those things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So some other things and some other questions that have come in that we would like to answer that came in from the last show and since the last show. Hey, if you have questions or comments, just hit the comment section there. Ask us if we can get to it while we're in during the broadcast. We'll answer as best as we can. If not, we will get to it and answer them later on or in the next show. So I see a lot of people are trying to get here by 3 o'clock. Look at all the messages. That's crazy. Hey, y'all come on. We'll give you some free stuff. Don't worry. In the meantime, there's some questions. My buddy Randy Ballard, I hope he's watching today. I'm sure he is. He asked some questions and wanted me to answer them. And so I picked one of his questions, and it says, what would you consider the 3 most important decisions you've made in business and why? So that's kind of a loaded question, but you kind of reworded it for Randy a little earlier. And what were you saying?
Yeah. So what were the 3 biggest turning points in your business that really made it skyrocket and take off?
Well, the first biggest decision I ever made was leaving my full-time job. Yeah. If you don't know, I used to work at Wyman Gordon on 290 for years. And that was the biggest move, the biggest decision. I mean, you literally had to grow a pair to do that, but it was good. You leave a good paying job to get out on your own. Hey, it's a good thing. It's a good feeling, but you got to have a plan in effect, So that was my first big decision that I had made. And the second decision that came along, I guess, was honoring and doing the job in Kima Boardwalk. That's what really stepped us up in business. And that was in 2008 when Hurricane Ike came through and destroyed and took out the Kima Boardwalk. I elected to take the job on, and we literally grew overnight from like 10 people to like 40 overnight to repair the Kima Boardwalk. That was a fun job, a very memorable job, historical job, or it will be historical. And then, there's so many others after that. But, early on, that was decision-making time early on. It still is now. But, you had to be more careful of your moves back, when you're early like that and early in business. You have to be careful because one little small move can be devastating. But, on a positive fact, the third decision that I had made as far as project-wise was taking on the Texas A&M project. I actually took a yellow Goodman school bus for Texas A&M and built a party bus. So if you've never seen it, it's on our website. We post about it sometimes, but that was some 13 years ago when I was elected to pretty much do what I want as far as designing this school bus. I actually put a dance floor on top of it. It was a fun project. It was revealed in front of 35,000 people. And like I said, we've only been in business 16 years. That was over 13 years ago. So that was early on. So that was one of the decisions I had made as well. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So that was one of your first high profile projects then?
It was. That and the Chemo Boardwalk, both of those. Yeah. 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 So, some other questions. What are a few or your favorite business or life quotes? I have so many of them, but from a positive standpoint, I would say, everyone has problems. We all have problems. I have problems. You have problems. We all have problems. But a lot of times I think to say things, to put things in perspective to people that make them think. If we all sat at a table and we put our problems out on the table, I can pretty much guarantee you'll pick yours back up. Yeah, I think you would. So we all have problems. We have to take care of our problems. That's one of my quotas that I say, if you put your problems on the table, I guarantee you'll pick them back up. Some other things that I live by and that I think that are, my words of wisdom and inspiration to people is don't be late and don't be disrespectful, be on time. And that's in any job. It ain't just about welding. This ain't always about welding. This is sometimes about just life in general and just being honest and being kind to others and pulling your weight, doing your own thing, So some other things that we can talk about today, talk about some bigger lessons that I've learned. More than one set of eyes on everything. It pays to be honest, truthful, and on time. And that's just goes along to say those are some of the verses or quotes that we say I say that help people out to understand where they are in life and where they need to be to help other people out. So some of the secrets to success, there's so many of them. There's not just one thing. Don't ever think there's just one thing that's going to get you to success, because it's not. It's a long road, and you have to be doing all the things at one time, and you have to do them constantly all the time. Whether that's marketing, whether that's editing photos, videos, whether that's networking, or that's sending out a gift to a new customer, or going to lunch with a customer, staying late into the night to quote jobs, coming in early in the morning to get material lists together, to order material, or to put things in perspective before your guys come in. Did that for years. There's so many things that you can do to be successful, but you have to do all of them in order to be successful. And that's what I believe, and that's what I've always done. Everything from visiting job sites to going and seeing customers. When customers call you, like new customers, when they call you, go right away. NASA called us in November with an emergency job. They had these huge Christmas ornaments, and they used our fifth weld shop to call. And, the guy needed help, and I didn't know him, didn't matter. He asked, hey, can you come down tomorrow? I said, no, I'll come down today. And I jumped in the truck, went down there, and we ended up doing, a $20,000 job for NASA, like the next day. So, and he told me, I relied on you because you were so spontaneous and you came right away. So those are the important key factors of being successful, is helping people, but helping them right away and being quick about it, being quick on your feet, making good decisions,
And never saying no.
Never say no. Yeah. Always. Never say no. That's right. Don't forget that. Even if it's someone asking you to do something, or someone that you're asking, for like a job, never say no, So, but
speaking of you doing all of that, one of the other questions that we got was, are you still burning the candle on both ends?
Oh yeah, absolutely. At times, I don't burn the candle at both ends as much as I used to, because of people like you and like a lot of other employees that are here at JK Welding that really have come in together to be a really strong team, to work together to make things happen. So I don't have to do as much for as long as I used to have to do things. But there are times, everyone knows me, everyone that does know me knows I'm a late night person. So, an early riser most of the time. So, I sleep 5-6 hours a day. That's about it. And I feel like that's got to be embedded in you in order to have enough hours in the day to get things done to be successful, because it's like I can't go home until everything's completed. Well, that's the same thing with me at night. I can't go to bed until everything's completed. I know it's all done. My videos are done. My emails are finished. I've checked on everything. I've done my snooping that I need to do, because everybody snoops, right? No, don't lie. Everybody snoops. So no, I burn a candle at both ends sometimes, especially the fact that I help operate some of the JK Welding business, but also Trails West at the same time, but also a lot of social networking. Speaking of social networking, tonight, what's tonight?
Yes. We're going to the Houston Young Professionals. It's like a happy hour networking at the Houston Club downtown. So we're really excited for that. That's going to be a really great event. I think there's over 700 RSVPs. So that's going to be pretty crazy, but it's industry. It's all the industries. So it's not just like specific industry. So we're excited for that.
Yeah, we are. We're very excited about it. So thank you for all the positive comments from everybody that's tuning in from all over. There's a lot of people watching today. We really appreciate you watching. This has been a great show. A few more things before we head off here. Let's see what some other things that we could write. What are some other things here that we have?
Oh, one of the recaps that we didn't bring up, and I don't think we touched on it super in depth last time, was video formats. When should you do landscape video versus vertical video? And I think this is going to be super helpful for anyone that's out in the field doing projects and taking that picture and video of it. Do both. Take your landscape pictures, but also take vertical pictures and video, because each platform has like a specific way that you should post on it. And so like Instagram and TikTok, you're going to want to post that vertical video and even vertical picture, because you'll notice that your vertical pictures will do better on Instagram than landscape pictures will, just because it takes up more room in the feed. And
some
then
your information right
there. And then your landscape photos and videos will do better on your more professional places. So like YouTube, LinkedIn, and then even Facebook, even though it's not considered professional, it is a little bit more traditional. So that's where you'll have that landscape content. So just make sure whenever you're out getting that content, get in both ways, because you're gonna be able to make the most of it that way. So that was one thing that I just wanted to touch on that I don't think we went into depth last time. But I know, speaking of your early on high profile projects, that was one thing that he did very early on that I think really helped grow his business, was just gathering that content. Everything's a photo opportunity. So no matter what you're doing, take a photo of it, because you might be able to use it one day in the future. That's right. The biggest thing I can say is just have that photo content of everything that you're doing.
Yeah, and hey, photos are free. Everybody knows you got a phone now. Remember, you used to have to pay for them, You just get 36 exposure. That was it. So you had to go buy another camera. You didn't want to have to do that, So pictures are free. Take as many as you can, but know how to take them vertically or side by side, horizontally. Know how to take them so you get the best benefit out of your photos, depending on what platform you're going to put them on.
Exactly.
Some key information there. Some of the things that people a lot of times they ask me, I want to go back to that. Some things that people have inquired about. Have you experienced any disgruntled employee problems through the years, and how it's handled? Well, I hate to tell you this, folks, but been in business for 16 years. I've had some disgruntled employees. Yes, I have.
And this is something that nobody likes to talk about either. And I think as business owners, it's a really good thing to touch on, because you're not alone if you're experiencing this kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't mind talking about it at all. I've had disgruntled employees just like everyone else. Everyone's had them, but like you said, no one ever wants to talk about them. So some things that I can guarantee you that you're probably going to come in connection with or have to deal with when you're in business for yourself. And one of them is having disgruntled employees. That's going to happen. That's probably the biggest problem that you can have. We've been very fortunate for the employees that we have here now at JK Welding, although for the many years we went through picking and going through the lineup of people that we have gone through to get the ones that we do have now employed. So the other thing that you're going to deal with is taxes, but taxes are something that it's coming. Employee problems is not something that you're aware of or you just get blindsided with. So at least taxes are painful, but that's coming. So you do have to deal with some taxes, of course, like we all do. Some other things that you may encounter with, more than likely, if you've been in business long enough, you're going to get sued. I can pretty much guarantee you it's something you don't want to deal with or talk about, but it's probably going to happen. Okay. It's going to happen. So
what about when employees want time off or vacation requests? What's the best way to handle something like that?
So the best way is, I have helped out a lot of people that have other companies, and usually most of them are same size or smaller than JK Welding, is the proper forms to fill out. Whether it's a personal day off or a vacation day, it doesn't matter. Always have a form for them to fill out that requests the day, of course, the date of today they're requesting, how many days, all that kind of stuff, and turn that in and put it in their file, because it's always to have good record keeping for backups for when things do happen or transpire within the company. It's good to have records for that. So yeah, that's good. That's a good thing to have. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think one other question that I had personally was, what's a project that maybe you didn't make a whole lot of money on, but meant a lot to you personally? Because I'm sure as a business owner, you'll take on those kind of projects that mean more to you.
Yeah, and those kind of the jobs are going to come along. That's it along the same lines as having disgruntled employees or taxes, or getting sued. That's done like number 4. You're going to get a job. I don't care where you work. I don't care who you work for. You're going to get a job that you're going to lose money at, or it's at least not going to go near as well as you thought it's going to go, or it has gone. There's always been some problems, or periodically with jobs. The one job for me that we didn't make any money on, or didn't make near as much, but I'm very proud that we had worked on it and we had done the project, was the Battleship of Texas. JK Welding helped rebuild the Battleship of Texas. It was a 7-month job during 2013. We're very proud to have done that, done all the repairs that we had done on the Battleship of Texas, helped it keep it from sinking. It was a very good project. We really enjoyed it, but we didn't make much money. But you know what? It looks nice on the resume, and
wasn't it going to sink without you?
Yeah, it was going to sink. Every day we would get there, and the boat would actually, the lower half of the boat, the back end would always be lower than the rest of the boat, because it kept taking on water through the night. We'd always pump it out, and then we'd do all the repairs. By the time we left at 3 or 4 o'clock, the boat was level again because we got the water out. But the next morning it would be low again. So we did that for 7 months, pumping water out, making repairs, pumping water out, making repairs, and finally got it all fixed. And like I said, that's the job we did. We didn't make much money on, but we're proud that we had done it for the state of Texas. Yep. So.
Awesome.
What about posting quality content instead of a lot of content? Quality over quantity, Tara. What is that about?
Yes, definitely post quality content over a ton of content. A lot of people think that I have to post every single day, or I have to post 5 times a day, but then they're posting kind of like subpar content that's not getting a lot of engagement because it's not super relatable, or it's not high quality images, or it's just not necessary to post. So what I would recommend is wait till you have that quality content to post, and make every post mean something, because why would anyone engage with something that doesn't mean something to them? So definitely have that quality content over just posting just to post.
Right. That's good. That's good. So we just got a couple minutes here before we go. One of the questions that was asked was, how important is it to have or not to have workman's comp for your company in Texas? So if you're a business owner, maybe a president or vice president, this is something that you really take care of and know that you have to have or don't have. So as far as to my knowledge, that is not something that's required in Texas. However, I highly encourage to have it, because first of all, if you have an employee that gets hurt on the job, it's good. He'll be taken care of, better in such a sense as in comparison if you didn't have it. So workman's comp is expensive. We have it here at JK Welding, also Trails West Gate Company. I always believed in having it. I don't like to write the check for it, but hey, insurance is important. It's like having flood insurance on your house. You take a gamble not having it, but when Hurricane Harvey comes through, you're going to wish and pray that you did. It's the same thing with accidents at work. You never know when they're going to happen, but it's good to have workman's comp. So answering to that question as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, did you have any other stories or anything like that? I think we've answered almost everybody's questions and comments.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know if anyone has made it here. I'm sure they have, but again, you get here by
Yeah,
3
we have
o'clock,
people.
and you got it's 2:30 now, so you get some people. We get some free swag again. Everyone, thanks for tuning in, and hope you've enjoyed the show. And hit us again and watch us again next month as we do another show, a live show. As I'm John King,
Tara Dotson.
and we'll see y'all guys later.
Bye.